Bar Sinister, 2 minutes later.
Mr. Sinister, I present to you the mutants Magneto and Professor Charles Xavier.
Hello. Thanks for seeing us. We've come to...
Oh, just stop. Before either of you says another word, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. I love that cape. Amazing. Why do I not have a cape? How do I not have a cape?
It's a crime, sir. An outrage, honestly. I've always thought you should wear one.
Well, if you really thought that, then why didn't you say something?
It slipped my mind.
Oh, execute this man!
Hello, everybody, and that was a scene from Powers of 10 by our lovely, what's his first name? Hickman?
Jonathan
Hickman. And that was a Mr. Sinister meeting Professor X. Oh, Mr. Sinister. And I'm here. This is episode 101 of CBQ Legacy, Comic Book Queers, and I'm here with Brett. Brett, what did you think of that?
Oh, I thought that was really wonderful. I thought it was a great scene, and I thought it was masterfully done.
Oh, thank you. Oh, God. I now want to go back and read Inferno with Sinister being that gay the whole time.
You mean you didn't the first time?
No, then I was still in the closet when I first read it.
Yeah, no, I know it. He was such a mannish man to me back then.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Comic Book Queers Legacy. Like Evil Jeff said, we're going to get to Powers of 10, number 4 by Jonathan Hickman and R.B. Silva in just a little bit. But first, what are you gonna pick?
Hot Topics! What has been going on? How are you? Is there anything going on in your life right now?
Yes, I have a hot topic that has to do with my personal life, actually.
Okay.
I, over the weekend, was in Minneapolis doing a big show at Paisley Park. Yes, Paisley Park, where Prince recorded and lived, doing a show for a university, and I got to work with an actress who was an alumna of that university. You may know her, Evil Jeff, as the social worker that Joker in the Joaquin Phoenix Joker says, "All I have are negative thoughts" to. The woman who they cut to, and she's like gulp.
Like a black woman, right?
Yeah, I got to work with her. Yeah. She's a wonderful woman. Her name is Sharon Washington, and she is simply breathtaking and brilliant.
Lovely.
And I can't wait to see her in Joker in the comfort of my own
Did you
living
ask
room.
her about any deets of Joker?
No, I didn't. I didn't bring it up at all.
Do you think Joker's going to be good or bad?
I think it's going to be really bad.
I think it's going to be bad too. And later on, maybe I'll talk about another clown themed movie and what my thoughts were on that as well.
In other news, let's take it from reality to fantasy. We've got some news about the MCU. We hear that Robert Downey Jr. is going to appear, probably as Tony Stark, in Black Widow. Evil Jeff, wake up.
Oh, I'm sorry, what? Oh, am I supposed to care? Who cares?
Yes.
Evil
Jeff, do you
This Black Widow movie, I don't give a fuck.
I do. I think there'll be some fun stuff in it.
Okay.
How do you not care? Like, it's the MCU.
Because
like, if
we
you
already
don't care
saw,
about that, what do you care about?
Well, it's kind of just like, you know what it is? It's like, hey, there was an amazing time we had at this theme park, and then we're going to drive to another theme park to have an amazing time. Now, let's have a movie about the drive between the two theme parks. That is what Black Widow is. I don't give a fuck what happened in those 5 years in between the first two, those last two Avengers movies. I don't care. Especially just watching this whole thing, I'm just going to be like, you die, and then you die.
Yes.
And then you
However,
die.
Do you think it'll end? And the answer is no. Do you think it'll end with Steve Rogers showing up at Vormir to return the Soul Stone?
And bringing her back to life?
Yeah.
No, I want her to stay dead. I hate Black Widow. Especially playing Marvel Alliance, she's the worst character.
Yeah.
She's the
Alliance
worst.
has really made you hate Hawkeye and Black Widow so much.
Yeah. Hawkeye at least is a bit better when you level him up, but Black Widow, even at a level 40, she's garbage. She's awful. Anyway.
You have other MCU news, right?
I do. And I don't know if anyone has seen this, but they just released, and I know they released this out of almost spite with the whole Spider-Man leaving Sony. They kind of released this original Easter egg post-credit scene with Tony Stark and Nick Fury, in which Nick Fury brings up the idea of there being people bitten by spiders and other assorted mutants, indicating that the X-Men and Spider-Man were always planned to be, joining into the Avengers.
Yeah, why did they shoot that?
I think maybe they were hedging their bets of like, let's shoot it because we can get it. We'll get it. They'll get on our side. When Iron Man happened, but that's when Iron Man happened. This is Iron Man 1. Did Disney own Marvel back then?
No. Marvel owns Marvel.
Who did the first Iron Man movie?
Jon Favreau.
No, I mean like what company?
Marvel Studios. It was Marvel Studios' first movie.
Oh, so it wasn't even like Time Warner or anything. It was just Marvel.
Yeah, that's why it was such a big deal.
Huh.
That's why it was done so right.
Well,
That was the narrative. They're finally responsible for their own characters.
maybe they shot it and then someone was like, hey guys, we actually don't own them. And they're like, what do you mean? We're Marvel. Of course we do.
No, they knew. They knew they didn't own them. And that's why, like, the whole reason, like, the whole thing was that Marvel was like, you know what? We don't need X-Men. We don't need Fantastic Four. We don't need Spider-Man. We can make Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor work. We can make them work. Like, that was the whole point. Why did they shoot that scene? That's so weird.
Do you think it's a deep fake?
Oh, my God. Yes. Yes, I do.
Tom Holland actually just came out. Everyone has come out just being like, this taking the Spider-Man away is the worst decision ever. You imagine the star of your movie being like, this sucks and I hate this. Like,
Yeah. If I was him, I'd quit. I'd be like, I'm not doing it unless you figure it out.
I feel like he should quit, and I think that they would renege and renegotiate the deal. I think it's all in his hands.
They might make another shitty Spider-Man movie with like a new Spider-Man. They might try to make like a live-action Miles Morales, and then that'll suck. And then they'll be like, all right, fine. You know what? Fine. And then they'll reactivate Tom Holland. Tom Holland should not be the Sony Spider-Man. He should quit. And wait.
Yeah, quit Tom Holland. Tom Holland quit. And if you need money, just work as an exotic dancer. I'll support you in lap dances.
Ooh. You know who else should quit? It is the Future Foundation comic book. Luckily, it is ending with number 5.
Well, did they ever think that was going to have a long run?
I mean, was it a limited series? Maybe it was always supposed to end with 5.
I guess, but it was kind of like, let's take all these characters no one gives a crap about. I mean, the Power Pack is kind of fun, but not enough to sustain a comic. And then let's have all these other random characters. Ooh, maybe they all die.
Ooh, dark.
Yeah, let's have a bunch of...
I don't want Tong to die.
Tom?
The Tong, the trans moloid. I like her.
Oh. They can all die. I don't care. I feel we should treat everyone in the community equally.
You know who else is dead?
Your soul.
Whitney Houston. Cue the music.
Now it is time for waiting to exhale.
Evil Jeff, of all the many X-Men books that are out there in print today, which one did you read?
I read a little book called Powers of 10 by Jonathan Hickman. I keep on wanting to say...
Jason Hickman.
Oh, I want to say Michael Hickman.
Who's that? Is that someone you went to high school with or something?
I don't know. Oh, you know what?
Probably.
I was friends with a guy named Michael Hicks in Chicago.
It's always that.
He has passed away. Rest in peace. But that must be what it is. Strange. Anyway, Powers of 10, guys. We need to... There's a lot that we're going to need to unpack here. A lot.
We are... Let me set the expectation now. We're going to skip over the Bar Sinister blind items that are featured in a data page midway through the book. We're going to go in depth on those at the end of this episode. For now, we are focusing on the plot of this story only.
Powers of 10.
It opens with a quote from Professor Xavier, like so many of these books do. I fear our needs will far outlast our desires. We have many hard choices ahead of us. They are surviving, not thriving, and shit's gonna be hard.
Yeah, because he's ready to... It's time. It's Endgame, basically.
It's X-Men Endgame.
Yeah. They're ready to fucking start. I have a question, though.
Beginning.
Before we start. Know how you were saying that all of the stuff was shot after, like, all the main...
Like House of X1 came out after House of X4, or happens after.
Yes. Because you were saying...
I think I found something that proved me wrong, actually.
That's what I was about to bring up. Because you were saying, that Cyclops and Jean and all of that, and because of the way they were acting, this is afterwards. But then I realized, wasn't Cyclops there while Mystique was stealing the information of locating where Nimrod was, of where the Mother Mold was?
Boom.
Right?
Yeah, I'm totally wrong. Yes.
Okay, all right. But I like your explanation better.
I think maybe just that scene of the pod people coming out happens later.
Maybe
But everything after that, with the diplomats and everything, that happened more. That was the power move that led to them doing Orcus.
It could be possible the scene of Jean walking in with Logan playing with... Yeah. That could be
Logan
after
playing.
Too. Yeah,
Logan
that could
playing.
be afterwards, too. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, covering that up, we'll consider that a little correction segment. Back to the issue at hand, we start at X0, sort of the formative years of the X-Men, and we have Magneto and Xavier visiting Bar Sinister.
Yeah, and this is what I'm realizing now, especially because we saw in that... What's that new... what's the new crossover event incoming?
Yeah.
We see Xavier, Apocalypse, and Magneto together. So I think this life, Moira is like... It's all of them. I'm not going to choose Xavier. I'm not choosing Magneto. I'm not choosing Apocalypse. I'm not choosing Sinister. I'm choosing all of them.
We're going to bring them all together.
It's all of them.
Yeah. We're going to break the rules. No more good guys, bad guys.
And then before we get into this, in the timeline that we saw so far, was anything listed about Sinister in this timeline? Do you remember?
No. It was all, to my recollection, Life 9 stuff about enslaving him and the birthing pods and...
Okay. All right. Well,
maybe no. I guess that future where they talk about his betrayal. Yeah, that was Life 9, and I think Moira learned from that betrayal. Maybe they count on that betrayal in this life.
Or do they? But that is for later.
That will get confusing. So Bar Sinister is from Battle Worlds. It's from Secret Wars. It's never been in our 616. So here it is for the first time.
Yes.
And how about this? Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I was just going to say what happens next.
Do you think so? Like, I heard somebody describe it as like not the Emerald City, but the Ruby City.
Yeah.
Is this place made out of ruby quartz?
I mean, it looks like ruby quartz, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
And he's the one that gave Scott the ruby quartz when he was a kid.
Yeah.
In his orphanage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that I thought of, I didn't read. So we're here with all of the Sinisters. Very Kieran Gillen Sinister, where he's, flamboyant and foppish, and he's in multiple bodies, and
He's
good
like,
times ensue.
He's like, why don't I have a cape?
Why don't I have a cape? Magneto and Xavier pretty much muscle their way in. And Xavier kind of he talks to him, and then all of a sudden the Sinister he's talking to, gets his head blown off by who I think is the Sinister we all know and love, because he's got the frilly cape.
Yes, and it turns out this Sinister, which is interesting that I always assumed Sinister was a mutant, but this Sinister was just cloned with the mutant. And that's where he has his powers.
I saw a lot of people, when Jonathan Hickman listed his favorite mutants on Twitter, a lot of people were like, hello, Mr. Sinister is not a mutant. And that's when he responded, oh, children, watch me work.
And, well, that's the thing then later on, all right, well, I guess I'll bring this up later. It is revealed of who his mutant DNA is crossed with.
Well, we could go into the information that's dropped, right? It's the guessing we're going to save for later.
Okay. Because, before we get to that, so clearly Xavier's like, we need you to go through the DNA, do your research on all the mutant DNA. Originally, you were going to look for just all human DNA. No, just mutant DNA. And also forget everything about us while you're doing this.
Until I tell you to remember.
Exactly. And that's when the Red Diamond Gossip magazine is released, which is just like a gossip rag that releases 10 Sinister secrets.
And they're blind items. They're gossip. They're like good old moviefone.com.
Now, and then the one thing, maybe the ones that we can, let's talk about the ones that are revealed, since they're not actual secrets.
There's only one other. So, we haven't really gotten it. Did we say Thunderbird is the person who
So they reveal that Thunderbird.
There's one other.
Yeah, but he's also been shown in Inferno and stuff to have psionic powers and kind of energy-based powers. So I'm interested of why he's only crossed with someone that has strength and healing-based powers.
Yeah, I guess those powers don't come from his mutant gene.
Interesting. I'm sure that those are easy things to give explanation to, but I find it strange that he chose the original Thunderbird.
John Proudstar.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I think maybe part of me is because Jonathan Hickman is just celebrating all things X-Men here and just wanted to get that name in. Because Mr. Sinister's a big burly man, and that's why.
All right.
He actually is beefier than the counterpart he slays.
Yeah. I think because he's got that hot Thunderbird magic inside of him.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's he picked the one that was given body, okay? My mutant power is to have a hot, thick body. He chose that one. He's gay. That's why he picked that Thunderbird, because this Sinister is just very gay.
Because he's like, you're hot, I want to look like you.
You're hot. You're hot. I'm in love with Scott Summers, but you're hot.
Well, it turns out he actually didn't have his powers. He just has his dick up his butt. What?
One other reveal.
Yes. Here, I'll read it. We don't hear this word spoken often, so when we do, it's best to pay attention, because when you square that circle, what took a long time to build can come crumbling down rather quickly. Inferno. Now, is this a reveal? Because that's a very vague reveal.
No, it's not a reveal. It's a setup for the next scene.
Really?
Which sees Doug Ramsey and Xavier in a very disturbing outfit landing on the island of Krakoa, clearly a flat. Well, it was still in year zero. Xavier is introducing Cypher to Krakoa. This is the beginning of building the Krakoan nation.
Yes, and of course and it's I noticed immediately, he is dressed as Cassandra Nova in the beginning of Grant Morrison's new X-Men run.
Do they just share a similar taste because they share DNA?
But this has to be referencing something.
Oh, I think it's meant to. It put me ill at ease, and I think maybe that's what Hickman was doing.
But remember we kept saying how feminine Xavier looks?
Oh, tell me more. Is he really Moira?
Or is it Cassandra?
Oh, hell no.
Could that be?
No, it's not, because we're going to bring up a blind item later, and she's living in there.
Okay.
Cassandra Nova's one of the blind items.
Yes, that is true. But it is weird. Like, I feel like I don't feel like he just did it just as, like, a nod. I feel like it's there on purpose. Like, there's something else there. And he'll reveal it late. I don't know. You think it's just a visual?
I think it's just for
trickery.
effect.
Okay.
I think it's just to fuck with our trust and distrust of Charles Xavier.
Know what I really wish, though, in this? I wish there was a line where Doug Ramsey was like, yeah, thank you I need this vacation because I need to get away from the internet and all that stuff. I wish they just had one line that referenced what Soul had developed with his character beforehand.
Yeah, that recognized that. Although I'm blaming Xavier for his personality turnaround.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, the guy who all of a sudden had a massive personality shift has been hanging around Charles Xavier?
And we still
what a
don't know
personality
how.
shift.
And we still don't know how he got the Warlock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since Warlock was killed.
But he's just such a cute, fun baby boy, Doug Ramsey. I love him.
Yeah.
I just love him. He's so cute.
And here we learn the origins of Krakoa.
Okay. Well, one thing, you said Doug's arm. Do you notice, does he infect some leaves with the TO virus?
Oh, he does.
Yeah. Is that why Xavier brought him there too? Or is that Doug?
What is that about? There's all these subtle things.
That's something. There's all these these building blocks. Ugh.
And this was just a nicely written scene because Cypher's kind of very dismissive to Xavier being like, well, I'm talking to him. And Cypher's like, no, you're just empathically talking to him.
Yeah, you're grunting.
Like, you can get,
Tarzan,
I'm sad. You get, he's like sad, but I know why.
And I love this because it's always been that telepathy is a much more nuanced and valid form of communication than just talking and language in comics. And here, language trumps telepathy. Mm-hmm. So Doug picks up from Krakoa way more than Xavier. Doug picks up from what Krakoa is saying. Krakoa's origin story.
He used to be a bigger island.
He used to be a bigger island with a different name, Akara.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, and here's where I'd like you to go back to the reveal in the blind items, Inferno. Demons holding a big sword come out from under the ground.
Oh, so you think this is what it was referring to? Okay, I
This
thought
is-
that was like,
this is Limbo.
I thought they were like doing, is there another Inferno happening? Okay.
Oh, there will be when the other half of the island that Apocalypse pushed into Limbo is coming back.
So you think the world that Ilana Rasputin rules is actually Araco, which was the other half of Krakoa?
I think Araco fell into Limbo and is down there.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah. So we've got Krakoa, Apocalypse, and fucking Limbo all connected by this origin story.
And they're driven back in by the original 4 horsemen. Now,
who are still down there.
But that's the interesting thing is if they're still down in Limbo, how come Magic has never seen them?
Right?
And we haven't seen Magic yet. The last we saw, she went fucking crazy town.
Well, she turned to a demon and went to Limbo.
Yeah. So we don't know where she is now. But have we ever seen the original 4 horsemen?
No.
Interesting. I kind of like how
No.
but doesn't this one, the one with the fire, like one of the horsemen, he looks like one of the, isn't that like a Herald of Galactus?
Yeah, like Fire Lord.
Yeah, doesn't he look like Fire Lord?
Yeah. Yep.
I wonder.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the first horsemen we met were an X Factor, like the anorexic girl and Warren and the disabled veteran.
But we've never seen the ancient first.
The biblical ones.
Yes.
Nope. I love that Doug is able to pick up this like way in detail story, and then when they cut back to Doug telling Xavier, he goes, something like that. Dougie.
And
So,
then
and then Xavier leaves Doug to build the nation of Krakoa, like build a system, build a language, build a culture, build a structure.
And then we get to kind of the gatekeepers of Krakoa, which I find very interesting, in which
the actual system.
The interface is Cypher. All transit and monitoring is done through Sage. All defense and observation is done through Black Tom Cassidy. So I guess because he can go through all the plants.
Yep.
Secondary external systems, monitoring all the outside sources, is Trinary. And then the main Overwatch data analysis is Beast. Love it.
That is so cool that Black Tom Cassidy is essentially the security system.
Yeah, especially that's
fucking awesome.
Very untrustworthy to me.
Yeah. And also, he's sadistic. And then you got a little guy in the basement there. We hear, maybe.
What is that?
Forge.
Oh, Forge. Building some shit.
A skunk works, which is a smaller group of people that separate from the rest of their team to do things differently and innovate better. So that's what Forge is doing. Forge is the innovation center. Forge is R&D in the basement, in the sub-basement.
Nice.
And then we cut to the future to fucking X3 and those crazy blue people with the phalanx.
Now, didn't you say the blue people had the symbols matched something?
When Xavier was like, and I am connection.
It was that same symbol.
It was that symbol on the face of the main, what I'll call the Moira librarian.
So we've discovered that the ones the I don't even know if they're human anymore. Whatever race this is on Earth in the future, they want to ascend with the phalanx.
Yeah, they're not humans.
But they're not
because,
mutants. They don't seem like I don't know what they are. It hasn't really been fully explained. But the interesting thing he does is rather than absorbing with the phalanx, he put his consciousness into a machine and let the phalanx absorb the machine.
Yeah, because they can't absorb biological, which is weird because I associate the phalanx with like if they touch you, you turn into phalanx.
I think you do. But I think he did this as a way, I feel like in a way...
Well, yeah, they infect you. They don't assimilate. Well, yeah, no, they do.
But that's why I think he did that on purpose when he was like, it worked. I think they're tricking them. I think...
Yeah, and well, he says like a trick, and they're like, no, not a trick, just a workaround.
But I think maybe they aren't trying to assimilate, and they're actually trying to destroy them.
Here's my theory.
Okay.
They're learning. They want to know how to create a collective consciousness themselves.
Yeah.
So I think this is what I think this is Life 6. I think Moira. I think the librarian is Moira. I think she is going to become, she's figuring out a way to become one with the phalanx so that they can figure out how to either become one with machines or, better yet, all mutants can kind of become like this one collective consciousness, this one organism, this one mind, kind of like they did back home during the space mission. Like how the 8 of them combined to like do a thing. I think he's going to bring all mutants back, and I think he's going to make them kind of like a biological phalanx. I'm always wrong.
Why? Okay, if this Rife was true, why would she then go and try to kill all the Sentinels in her next life?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe something really bad happens. Maybe Powers of 10 number 6 is going to be awful.
I don't know about that. I will say I'm not on board with that one, Brad.
Okay.
But I appreciate all of your ideas.
Look, I'm not afraid of what I've done, but I do fear what it will cost one day. And that's our closing quote from Professor Xavier.
Yeah. And by
I just
that
wanna
he's
know what this phalanx
by
stuff
that
is.
he's talking, and I know what that quote means. It's his latest costume because let's just say it's awful.
Well,
That
I wish I
egghead.
looked that good. I know, but I could never fill out a patent leather black suit like that.
With the egghead, I'm sick of it. Anyway, Powers of 10. Jesus. Powers of 10, it's still great. I mean, the Sinister, which we will get to later, that's just so juicy. I just love that. Where it's like, and now here's some riddles. Here's some
Yeah, and
riddles
they're-
for you.
And they're probably teasers of upcoming storylines in Dawn
Yeah.
of X.
Yeah. That's what I thought the Inferno one was teasing, that and that all the Inferno stuff is coming back. But you're saying that probably is all going to come back.
Oh, absolutely. If you look at the cover of X-Men #2, it looks like the X-Men are fighting an evil Krakoa.
Okay. Love it.
So, yep.
All right. Well, that was the X-Men. But I have a question for you, Brett. What have you read for me lately?
Ooh, yeah.
What else have
What
you
have
been
I read
reading?
for you?
Yeah.
I know that we both read this one. How about a little Silver Surfer Black #4 by Donny Cates and Tradd Moore? Tradd Moore. I wanna just make love to Tradd Moore's art.
I
I want
think
to become one with it.
the art is great. I will agree with that. But coming into the 4th issue, I was very... Even though you explained everything to me...
Oh, you didn't read 1 through 3?
No, I just read the 4th one.
Oh, Jesus.
But you already kind of explained what happened.
Yeah, that's true. And this is pretty much just a big it's like two big conversations. One is Silver Surfer and Ego, and the other one is Silver Surfer and a not yet Galactus.
And basically, it was just him deciding, should I kill Galactus? And then basically Galactus, he's like, why do you want to kill me? And he's like, because I have this plan, and I know if I kill you, I'll save all these other people. And Galactus is like, how do you know that's not my plan? That's why I eat those planets, to save other planets. And he's like, huh.
He's like, here you are accusing me of committing murder to balance the scales. What is you doing? You're doing the same thing right now.
I did not realize that he was doing it in a New York accent.
New York accent. But also the Watcher shows up and he's like, I'm spooky.
Yeah.
His face is crazy.
Yeah. Do you think
This book is great.
Well, I feel like the writer is just on acid.
The writer?
And the artist.
Or the artist.
Both.
Yeah,
I think
of them.
both of them.
I fucking love it. I don't know. If you're not reading Silver Surfer Black, read it.
It's
He
fun.
turns black at the
It's
end.
fun, but it's weird. But fun.
Super weird. Yeah, it's
And
fun.
beautiful. It's
Good
very
fun.
pretty.
Good weird. Gorgeous book.
Gorgeous
Do drugs. Be gay. Read Silver Surfer Black.
Suck a dick dipped in formaldehyde and angel dust. And then read Silver Surfer Black.
Another book that I read is, I told you I'm reading the Punisher Kill Krew. It's Jerry Duggan, who is going to write Marauders. Art by Juan Ferreira. I just want to say this. It is such a fun book because it's the Punisher's adventures in space, but he keeps bumping into random Marvel characters and like adding them to his team throughout the deep reaches of space. So this is like, it's totally, wait, what the fuck are you doing here? The book. It's great. He keeps bumping into these randos. Like he's going to
Is it all
Jeff
space
Volkenheim.
people?
No, that's the best part. Like he's going to go kill this particular monster that kills one of the war orphans' parents. And the place he has to go to, it's like all frost giants and monsters, and it's like in this other land, one of the other realms. And then he notices like it's the big shark monster looking thing is toying with a human in a cage, and the human is Foggy Nelson. And the Punisher's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Who the fuck's who's Foggy Nelson?
Daredevil's lawyer.
Oh,
partner.
right. In space?
Yes.
Okay.
And so it's Foggy. It's like Punisher dragging Foggy Nelson through these adventures in space, and it's really funny. And then at the end, they're going after these like sorcerer frost giants, and they happen upon someone else who doesn't belong there, but who would make a great addition to a Kill Krew. I don't want to give it away. It's too fun.
Oh, well. Okay. Fine then. Don't.
But I will tell you, nothing stops him.
Oh, is it Juggernaut?
It is.
Well, you couldn't even last 3 seconds, so you're not giving it away.
We spoil like so much milk.
Well, what is he doing in space? Do they all give explanations why they're in fucking space?
Yeah, the sorcerer frost giants are torturing him. They want to pull Satorak out of him.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus Christ.
What else did you read?
I read Gwenpool, #2.
By the delightful divine Leah Williams.
This one I was not as much of a fan of.
Okay.
At this point, I feel it's just like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. And it's not really like going anywhere. The most interesting thing, she basically is like, the whole point of the book, and this is literally the whole point of the book, the cover is her making out with Reed Richards and Sue Storm walking in horrified. And the whole point of the book is she's like, if I don't want this book to be canceled, I need to have a power player on the cover, and I need to be kissing them. So it's literally the only reason she's going to the Fantastic Four to kiss him is because she knows it will be on the cover of the comic book. So, and Deadpool is with her. And she's like, I'm bringing you with me because you know it's a comic book. And he's like, what? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, I'm talking, and it was basically like Deadpool. They were just differentiating their crazy, where Deadpool's just like, I'm just talking to everybody, you know,
like people who are watching me.
Yeah, but you are talking. You think this is a comic book, and
you think we're flat, and yeah.
Yeah, and so she basically makes out with him, and then Sue Storm comes after him. And it was basically them just literally attacking the Fantastic Four just so she could kiss him. And there's really like no other point, which in a way is kind of amazing. But at the same time, I was like, I'd like there to be an actual, I don't know, through story. Maybe. And then the only other interesting plot device is he's like, wait, what do you mean? Don't you have a boyfriend? Aren't you dating Quentin Quire? And she just pulls out a phone text, and it's this cute little lovey-dovey text between them. And then she just texts, hey, you know what? I got to break up. Sorry, it's not working. That just sends it. And she's like, don't worry. I'll just go back and reality erase that later.
She's going to retcon. She's retconning herself.
Yeah, so that part was kind of funny. But other than that, it's just, I don't know. There's no, like, point to it. There's no actual story.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, it's cute. What else did you read?
Ew. I can't believe you asked me that, because, I read a DC book.
Ew, I read a DC book, too.
I want to talk about Event Leviathan #4 by your boy, BMB, ever so briefly. It's pretty much all witty banter and, like, run around, like, plot twist after plot, not even plot twist, shift the focus of accusation, mystery, like, maybe you did it, maybe you did it, maybe you did it. But there's just something, like, so oddly off about the banter of the detective group. Like Manhunter and Batman and Damian and Green Arrow and Lois Lane. And it's an odd cadence. I don't know what word I want to use that they have. It's just, it's odd conversation.
Like not real, like it's not believable?
It's trying so hard to have, like, snark that it feels forced. The snark feels forced. everybody is like so too cool for school.
Okay.
That it all kind of sounds like the same character talking.
Right. Yeah,
Like,
usually
maybe I
Bendis
don't know.
is usually
Yeah.
good at that, differentiating character.
Yeah, and it's just like it kind of feels real go nowhere. Like they're not really giving you much answers. So this one picks up. The last one ended with Leviathan finding Amanda Waller and Superman also finding her and about to intervene. It takes place after in the Fortress of Solitude, where Superman is back at the Fortress of Solitude with this detective group, and he got his ass kicked by Leviathan, and he's kind of recanting what happened to them. A lot of this book is all the heroes thinking that Manhunter is somehow behind this, like the hero that they all kind of don't know anything about. And then it focuses on Lois Lane for a while, but
You're
It
just
just feels
kind of
like one
like,
of those
where is this going?
it feels like one of those mysteries where they're just going to reveal the information you needed to know at the end. And it's like, oh, well, I wanted to try to guess along with you who's behind this and what this is, but you're withholding information. So I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. What's not awful is another ew DC book.
Wait, how many
and that
ews do
is-
you give it?
I give it ew, ew, ew,
3 ooze.
ew.
Oh, 4 ooze. Okay, that's
I
one
think
came
4.
in. Okay.
I give 3 and a hesitant fourth. The one I give no ews to is Wonder Twins #7 by Mark Russell.
I give maybe half an ooh because it
Maybe.
still hasn't picked up the plot from the last issue.
What do you mean?
And the last Wonder Twins issue, what's his name? Scramble? What's his name?
Scrambler.
Just Scrambler. I kept wanting to call him Professor Scramble. Scrambler was like, hey,
Professor Eggs.
Professor Eggs. That's great.
Professor Eggs.
I feel like the Scrambler was like, hey, I need to make an email, which means he was going to go through with the switch.
Oh, yeah.
And the switch
Well,
hasn't
maybe-
happened. So,
Well, it ended with, like, instead of a call, can I get an email? Maybe they were like, no.
yeah. But
It's
I
a
feel
call.
like that plot is going to still happen, I feel, right?
Maybe.
I want it to happen.
They do continue the story of the Scrambler, but it's kind of how they feel, how the Wonder Twins feel about it, the aftermath.
Yeah. And it just sucks. They save the world and then get demoted to like tour guides for the Hall of Justice.
But it's hilarious. They're giving tour guides to the Hall of Justice. Zan is the best. Of
Yeah.
course, he's super into it, while Jane is like, this is beneath me.
Yeah. It's super fun.
Yeah,
I'm glad
really-
it's still
like,
going. I
it's-
thought it was that had ended, so I'm glad it's still going.
I think it's creeping up as maybe my favorite non-Hickman book of the year.
Yeah, it's super fun and super smart.
And funny.
Yeah.
Super funny. Like they have their, what is it? Where is the Hall of Justice? Is that in Metropolis?
Is it in Metropolis?
Or is it like in New York, which they have too for some reason?
I bet you it's in New York.
Well, it's
Although I wonder
in a city.
what state is Metropolis in?
New York? I have no idea.
What's-
Is it in are there states?
What state is Gotham in? That's never been
I've-
decided.
Oh, wait. I just read this. Do you understand? I just read this. My husband and I just, for some reason, looked up. Oh, we were looking up the origins of the word Gotham because something that we saw in a park somewhere. And in the Wikipedia entry, it said that Gotham City is notoriously depicted as being in the state of New Jersey.
Gotham's in New Jersey?
They say Gotham is in New Jersey,
Oh, it's
according
so
to Wikipedia.
weird.
Isn't that weird? Like, there's no cities in New Jersey.
I know New Jersey's just like one big suburb.
New Jersey is absolutely a suburb.
Like
of
the
New
whole
York.
thing. That's why
but
it's
there's so many funny-
that's why it's so densely populated, because it's not like, oh, here's the city and then there's empty area and then it's just filled the whole way through.
If you grew up in New Jersey, you don't ever refer to New York as New York. You'd never say New York. Everyone in New Jersey calls it the city. Oh, are you going to the city?
Yeah.
It's very much a suburb. Everyone in the state, you going to the city? Oh, I just got back. I'm going to the city. But like in Wonder Twins, the hockey fans, like the hockey team is called the Ice Cubes, and there's like hockey riots. People.
Yeah, it's just cute.
Go Cubes! Like, it's so cute. Oh man, that's so cute. And so a lot of this focuses on this meta by the name of Repulso, who's just basically a human stink bomb.
That was sad, and he seems so lonely.
The way they isolate him and treat him because he smells. And the guards who are like, okay, come on, you have another mission. All right, get back in there. He's like, you guys are my best friends. And it's a very tender ending with Jaina and Repulso at the end. A very lovely note.
Because she's an ant, because ants can't smell? Was that the thing?
Yeah, she has no olfactory senses as an ant, as a giant ant.
Oh, well. How lovely.
So she plays chess with him as a giant ant. I mean, it's got heart, it's poignant, it's satire, it's intelligent, it's funny.
Comics. We read them.
We've also watched and listened to them, which I think means it's time to...
Let's get critical.
What you been watching?
Well, I saw a movie that I want to talk about. And it's a little supernatural, so I think we can talk about it in our comic book milieu, if you will.
Okay. So we're clearly talking about It Chapter 2. Can we kind of change up our 1, 2, 3 tradition a little bit for this one?
Okay.
Can we do 1, 2, 3, yes or no? Was it better than It Chapter 1?
Okay. All right.
Ready?
Uh-huh.
1,
2, 3. No. No. Hell,
like not even
hell
close.
no.
Not even close.
So no. And here's the thing.
Number one, it was not. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Here's the thing. And I'm going to bring this up. Remember how we brought up last week about people being triggered about the movie? And
stabbing.
I think
They're stabbing.
Well, not only stabbing, but people are triggered. People are now trying to have the movie boycotted, or they want the movie literally re-edited to remove the gay bashing scene from the beginning of the movie. Now, here's the deal. I 100% disagree with ever doing that.
Absolutely correct.
That being said, that scene...
It was tough.
But that scene in the book, that scene, that act of hatred is what reignites it to come back. And they didn't...
The point.
That's the point. They didn't show that in the movie. So...
Yeah, he just kind of appeared.
So he just appears. So it just was like a random... gay bashing for no reason. It ended up seeming like it was there for no reason. So that's why I was like, you needed to depict that because they were being gay bashed, that is what awoken him, and then that would have made sense. So the way it's done now, it just didn't make any sense.
I found myself saying that when somebody was like, "Oh my God, wow! It turns out Pennywise was so anti-queer." I was like, "Okay." He's drawn by the worst fear and the worst hatred, so he was drawn to that. Like whenever misery happens, Pennywise appears, but they absolutely failed in telling that story.
Yeah, and also the other gay subplot, can we talk about?
Why not
What's his name?
make that a thing? If you're gonna add that, add it.
Yeah.
Don't
with Bill what's Bill Hader's character? Is it Finn?
I don't know.
Finn?
Actually, I didn't hate it. I think Ricky and Eddie are so cute together, and I'm so sad. But then
make them
except for the whole
make them actual lovers.
R+E
Make him come out. Like he should have come out.
Just come out.
Don't be like, oh, I'm scared that people might think I'm gay.
I had the biggest problem, I think, with the whole tacked on Stanley stuff at the end. Like, don't you guys get it? My suicide was actually a really heroic move because I love you.
Yeah, that was awful. That was stupid.
It's garbage.
Stupid.
How the fuck would he have remembered?
And here's the
It's
other
plot
thing.
hole. Why did he remember?
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. Here's the other thing. This movie was 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Why?
I think there were scenes that would be like 10 minutes long of them just being like, hey, remember our childhood and remember why we are like these characters and we have to do something. And I'm like, yeah, we remember because we saw the first movie. So we already know what characters you are. Like that movie, they could have cut over an hour out and without blinking an eye, you would have not missed anything.
The whole going to get your artifacts thing was so flat. I was like, so really we're going to watch all 6 people take a turn of like going to get a thing and getting scared and then escaping.
But at least those were scary. At least there were like tense, scary moments. The rest of it is them just all sitting, talking about their feelings. Ugh. That movie, they should have been getting the artifacts minute 15 of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, you were not it.
It was
You
awful.
did not do it.
It was bad. Like, and I
More
thought
like-
the
more like-
first
it was more
one.
like shit chapter 2.
The first one is so good.
So good.
The second one is so bad. You have
They didn't even, like,
Jessica
Pennywise wasn't
you
even,
have
like-
Oscar-nominated Jessica Chastain, and she's saying lines like, I'm just like, she said better lines in Dark Phoenix. Get a new agent.
You had Vuck from Dark Phoenix. Vuck. And you wasted it. Yeah, it was disappointing, to say the least.
But I did watch something that I liked better than it.
Talk to me.
I watched the first 2 episodes of Titans season 2.
Oh my God. That's exactly how many episodes I've watched.
Yay. Are they all out?
No, they come out, they drop them weekly.
Okay, yeah. So I watched the first 2 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought episode 1 was kind of a throwaway.
Yeah. It was almost like, well, we built that up. Let's get out of that so we can start fresh.
Yeah, let's start. We just want to get to Deathstroke. We want to build the team. Okay, Raven. She's Raven. Good.
But now
We're good.
Raven
Okay, bye.
has that ruby on her head, but now Raven has like this blowout hairdo. Hate
I
it.
love it.
Oh, I hate
love
it.
it.
I hate
I
it.
think it looks good.
No, I like the straight bob. That's what I need.
I love Straight Bob.
I like gay bob.
Anyway,
yeah.
Speaking of Straight Bob, Brenton Thwaites, who plays Dick Grayson, I can't with him. He is so hot.
Yeah.
He's so hot.
Yeah.
I can't take it.
Here's the thing about him.
He's like a Zac Efron. I can't look at him.
But here's the thing. There's guys where you look at them and you're like, you're hot. But there's guys where you look at them and you're like, not only are you hot, I can tell that you're an amazing kisser, you have a big dick, and you're really good in bed. And he has all of those.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's definitely although, I mean, that's the thing, Beast Boy and Robin, the current Robin, what's his, Jason Todd, they're all really hot. And Hawk.
Can we talk about Hawk, Alan Ritchson? Hello. Oh, he's so hot. Alan Ritchson, I've lusted after Alan Ritchson ever since he was a contestant on American Idol, like season 3.
Ugh.
And he was Aquaman and Small. Oh, he's so hot. I thought they really turned it around when they started getting to, okay, this is what this season's going to be about.
And we get to see Batman, the Game of Thrones guy.
Yes, the guy, yes. What's his name? Jarek?
Yeah.
He's loyal to the dragon woman? Yeah.
Daenerys.
He's great. He's a great Bruce Wayne. Love that Bruce Wayne is kind of a recurring character, kind of like the sage that Dick Grayson keeps turning to, that keeps calling on the phone. Hey, Bruce, I need advice.
Yeah.
And I love that they're building the team. We're getting introduced to the daughter, Deathstroke. Wonder Girl's back.
Yeah.
They're building Starfire's world. Hawk and Dove are going to be active again. And they mentioned Aqualad already.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing and then we know Superboy is coming at some point.
Oh, and Wonder Girl keeps talking to Roy Harper, Arsenal. Red Arrow.
Oh, okay, right.
Colton Haynes from
Yeah.
Arrow.
Here's the other thing, though, is the person that kidnapped Corey, Starfire, is he an established character?
I don't know. I don't know enough about Starfire's world.
Because
I would imagine so.
I had to look up the Rose character, who is
Yeah.
Deathstroke's daughter.
Yeah.
And I looked her up to see what like her deal was, and her eye can see the future, apparently.
Oh, really?
Like the missing eye. Like that's like.
Oh, cool.
So it's like she does have an actual power too. But all of her strength powers were cybernetically given to her by Deathstroke, at least in the comic. Now, is she kind of like a Terra thing? Is she like someone that betrays them?
I have no idea.
I wonder if she's like going to be, is she's being set up to betray them? But they already know who she is. I don't know. Where does her loyalties lie?
And we're still going to get we're also going to get Superboy and Crypto.
It is just weird watching. They just ended Young Justice, and now I'm watching Titans, which is mostly the same characters.
Yeah.
It's very strange. But I like it. I'm down with it. It's fun.
Oh, and they introduced Dr. Light, who, I don't know much about the DC Comics universe, but I know that he's horrible.
How does his powers work? I didn't get how his powers work.
Yeah, I don't know. Light bombs or...
It seemed like he could plant a light bomb in people or in the car. Like, how did that car blow up? Like, there's a part where the car blows up. Yeah, I didn't get it. But it was fun.
But he's known for being the rapist. Like, isn't that the rapist villain who, like, there was like a story where there's a story where, like, he raped a woman, and I think it was depicted, and like, ever since then, it's kind of like Hank Pym in The Slap. Like, ever since then, it's like, oh, Dr. Light, the rapist. Oh, I'm sorry about the rape. I didn't mean the rape. Oh, I'm not sorry about the rape. Like, I think it's just a gross character to me.
Isn't Dr. Light the good guy in the Mega Man Nintendo game?
The professor? Like the...
Yes, Dr. Light and Dr. Wily.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's who he is. He's the guy from Mega Man.
but a rapist. Well, here's hoping they don't have rape in this
good.
one.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not have it.
Yeah. I've had enough.
Can we stop with that? Thanks. I mean, like, the Joker movie's coming out. Let the Joker movie do all that stuff.
Oh, the Joker movie. Can't wait to talk about that one.
We're going to wait because I probably won't see it in the theater.
That movie is going to have to be so fucking good for me to not hate it. Although I'm going in it with such low expectations. Who knows? Well,
it's almost like you're going in blind.
Blind items?
Like blind items.
I see where you're going with that.
A trashy gossip rag.
All right. Have you read Powers of X? And are you too lazy to Google and figure out what these blind items at Bar Sinister are? Well, have no fear. Brett and Evil Jeff are going to help use our powers of deduction and fight over what we think these blind items mean.
That is right. And as gay men, Evil Jeff and I know how to read blind items. There's a trick. There's a secret. There's a code. Look for certain adjectives. Look for verbs. Why was that word used? Maybe it refers to something.
Let's start with number 1.
Let's dive in.
Read number 1, Brett.
Sinister's secret number 1. He's trying to pretend that no one noticed he was wearing red shoes, but this truly sinister isn't fooling anyone.
Red shoes, ruby slippers, Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a Wizard of Oz reference, but it's also saying this truly sinister isn't fooling anyone. Do you think there's another Sinister pull? Is this about there being another Sinister that's...
It feels like this might be about like a rogue Sinister that's trying to establish some individuality. And I wonder if it's a reference to Miss Sinister.
But Miss Sinister is just from another dimension and never was...
No.
What?
No, she's not. No, she was a human that Sinister turned into, injected his DNA into her.
I thought she was from the Ultimate Universe.
No.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I hate Miss Sinister, though.
Oh. All right, while you look that up, let's move on
But
to Sinister's Secret.
but why do you, I think there is something about Wizard of Oz there, and I tried to look back, and you don't see anyone's shoes, so there was
Well,
no
it
one
is-
wearing red shoes.
It's interesting that Wizard of Oz, like the Emerald City, like here, this is pretty much the Ruby City.
True.
I think we're gonna get a story set on Bar Sinister.
Okay. Well, when I looked up Miss Sinister, you're right. He did implant in her, but he said he implanted his telepathic powers in her.
Oh, where'd he get those?
Yeah. Hello, Thunderbird. All right, let's move on.
You go.
Sinister Secret number 2. And speaking of fashion, the Whisper Network has turned into a roar regarding the return of this trend-setting mutant who was cut down in his prime. Will someone please tell all these mutants to stop wearing human clothes and join the stampede across their island full of flowers to the flower that's the fullest?
Flowers. Maybe like a carnation?
Jumbo Carnation.
This is absolutely Jumbo Carnation from
Grant,
Morrison's
from
run.
Grant Morrison's New X-Men. Yes.
The fashion designer who died from an overdose of kick.
Which then started
But
Quentin
was
Quire's craziness.
Yep. And he was mutant bashed, right?
Yeah.
And like, I think Quentin said that he was killed, and Beast was like, no, he died of an overdose.
And I think it's clear that it's Jumbo Carnation, but why?
Yeah.
Why bring him up?
I just love, because there's one coming up later that Hickman, I think he's just reviving some Morrison stuff because it's fucking awesome.
I know, but that's what's like, what could be the fun thing he's going to do with a fashion designer? I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, very intrigued. I think also as this nation of Krakoa builds up, like this whole
No
idea
human
of
clothes.
mutant clothing. Yeah.
Ah.
Very cool.
What's Sinister Secret number 3?
Years ago, a deceased red-headed pretender made a pact with the devil. When she passed on, most believed that any secret she had went with her to the grave. Won't everyone be surprised when they find out not only is this not true, but she left behind a whole lot more than secrets. Who do you think?
Well, this one, I mean, clearly it's Madeline Pryor.
Absolutely.
But here when
the
it
devil
says...
is Naster.
But when it says, won't everyone be surprised when they find out not only is this not true, what is not true? That she's dead or that she had secrets that went to the grave?
I think that she had secrets that went with her to the grave, but maybe it's referring to the fact that she's alive.
Yeah, it could be either. But she left behind a whole lot more than secrets. That sounds like a baby or something, right?
Right? Yep.
But then when would she have had another goddamn baby?
I don't know.
Brad, I figured it out.
What?
Who's the last person Madeline Pryor fucked before she turned evil?
Scott? Havoc?
Havoc. She has a baby with Havoc. She was pregnant because she was pregnant when all that was going on.
But didn't they bring her back?
That was like a ghost. It was like a ghost. That was when Matt Fraction was doing it. It was just like some
and
ghost.
she wanted to start the Sisterhood of Evil Mutants.
And
right?
it was just some ghost version of her.
Okay.
Whatever. That was Matt Fraction's boring run. We can just forget that happened.
Those captions were great. Sinister Secret number 4. You want to go ahead?
While every Sinister has been busy wondering how they might be affected by current events, almost no one noticed what washed ashore. A word of advice to all things Sinister: don't embrace the revelry, or there won't be anything for you to celebrate.
Yeah, this one's tough.
I had to look. I started doing some digging and then looking up what other people were saying, and someone had an interesting. I did not come up with this on my own. I think first though, let's give you gave me your initial thoughts on it. Do you still think yours are right?
I do. I actually do. So the only thing I'm picking up on is the odd use of the words revelry and celebrate, and those are synonyms for the word jubilation. And so I think this is a story involving Jubilee in Bar Sinister.
I think the more important thing is what washed ashore. And that could either be two things. Right now, Namor is trying to attack the Earth. But I looked up, when did Bar Sinister first appear?
In
Secret Wars. Did you know that somebody washed ashore on Bar Sinister in Secret Wars?
No, who? Oh, God.
Captain Marvel.
Interesting.
So there could be, and I don't know what that means, but people have noticed that she literally washed ashore and was taken in, and she was in bars. And I was like looking through the panels and stuff, and I was like, and she stayed there for a while.
I've also seen somebody theorize that this could be Nate Gray, theorizing that current events might be the age of X-Men. And somebody, I think I saw a panel where a bearded young Nate and like a life seed are washed ashore somewhere.
No, I'm done with him.
Yeah.
I hope not. All right, we already went through the secrets revealed.
Sinister secret number 5. He's the best there is at what he does. She's married with a kid. The husband knows exactly what's going on, but who is he to point the finger? He's up to much the same, and more. Maybe this is just the new normal on the mutant island. Give it to me. Give it to me, Hickman.
Jean Grey.
Give me what I think this is.
Jean Grey and Scott Summers are technically together, but they have opened up their relationship, and he is boning Emma Frost, and she is boning Logan.
Give me the poly relationship between the 4 of them
yes!
that I deserve.
That has to be what that means. Although, with a kid, she never fucking gave birth to a kid, so that's kind of... That's the only thing that throws me. The other thing that it could be is Xavier and Moira. Because doesn't she... she has a kid, technically, and she's married to Banshee, technically.
No,
and they're both still alive. Because wouldn't she still be married to Banshee?
Yeah, he's the best he is at what he does. It's clearly Wolverine.
Yeah.
So it's Wolverine, Xavier, Moira, Banshee, and a poly.
Yeah, that's boring. I like the other one better. Okay. Sinister secret number 6. Everyone believed that the plan of this Progerian mutant with secret sinister ties was foiled, but little did the gifted ones know that the destroyed samples were switched out beforehand.
This is not up for debate. This is Ernst and Cassandra Nova.
Well, it always was referenced in that future episode issue of New Avengers. Cassandra's a good guy, and she goes, "No, call me Ernst."
Yeah, she says to Martha, "Of course you can call me Ernst, dear."
But then it was never referred or referenced or anything was ever given.
No, well, Whedon fucked it up. 2 things, like 2 balls were dropped coming into Morrison's run. Number 1, everyone knew the 5th Cuckoo, who had not been named, was supposed to start with an I because it was SPCE, and it was clear that they were going to spell out spice, like the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
And
Didn't
then
Matt Fraction... Matt Fraction fixed it.
I think it was Austin. I think it was... Yeah, Fraction fixed it. But somebody called her Mindy, and then Fraction said her real name is actually Irma, so check. The other thing was during the whole Torn storyline, where it turned out Emma was manipulating Kitty into getting the ooze out of the box because that contained Cassandra Nova's essence, the ooze that was stuff from Morrison's run from Imperial.
Yeah.
Where the body that Emma trapped Cassandra in. That was always supposed to be Ernst. That was supposed to be Ernst, like Cassandra's rehabilitation form. It was so clear in Morrison's run, and then Whedon fucked it up. He ignored it. And it hasn't been good since. But I think
So here's
Hickman's going to reestablish.
what do you mean it was supposed to be Ernst? The Blob was supposed to turn into Ernst?
Yeah, Ernst was that Blob. She says in that same panel where she's like, "Of course you can call me Ernst, dear." She also says, "And here I am in my synthetic space slime body without a spare part for light years," or something like that. And then her hand starts morphing into the computer. So she even says that she's in the body of that thing.
But then who is the Ernst girl then? Because
It's little Cassandra Nova. Like, basically, Emma sucks Cassandra into stuff. And then the next scene is the psychic classroom where Jean and Xavier are educating Cassandra.
Okay.
A is for Adam. And then we don't see what happens to Cassandra after that. We just meet Ernst. And then through subtext and clues, we realize, oh shit, this is Cassandra
so
Nova.
that when the ooze made a reappearance in Whedon, that's how it got fucked up.
Exactly. The ooze was Ernst.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. The ooze was walking around as a little girl who looked like an old lady with super strength.
But then that's the thing is, how are you going to renegotiate that?
Well, it seems the samples were switched out beforehand, whatever that means.
But the samples switched out beforehand. Ernst also in the Spider-Man and X-Men book, that to give Martha a body, she went in and stole samples from Sinister.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that's what that
maybe.
was referring to.
Maybe.
Ugh, who knows? Sinister's Secret, number 7. Would you care to read that, Brett?
2 brothers jumped out of a plane, and for the longest time, until he was discovered, many wondered if there was a third. If we told you there were more, would you believe me? Probably not. Oh my god. Is there a fourth?
When? Well, how does this bitch hide this many pregnancies?
Is it Gamby?
If it is, it has to be someone we already know. But Gambit, that's such a weird...
You know what? Give me a sister.
Yeah.
Give me a summer sister.
You know what?
Emma.
Well, but it says there's 2 brothers, and many wondered if we were third. If we told you there were more, so it is talking about brothers. Who knows?
It could mean Summers.
Yeah.
So I think in addition to Vulcan, there are more Summer siblings out there.
I bet you it is Gambit.
It was supposed to be. I mean, that's what everyone speculated.
Well, Gambit was also...
And then everyone...
supposed to be the bad guy.
Yeah. And everyone also thought it was Adam X to the extreme.
Oh my God,
Fabian
thank God. And then everyone realized
set up.
that he was the worst.
That would have sucked. Thank God.
Sinister Secret number 8. For years, this fittest of all mutant has routinely surrounded himself with a particular numbered entourage. These hangers-on stick around for a while until they are eventually replaced with newer, more exciting members. What most people don't know is that if the original members returned, these pretenders, he loves pretenders, these pretenders would be dropped so fast their heads would spin.
So, I mean, this is setting up the whole, we're going to Limbo, we're getting the original Horsemen, we're going to battle the demon Krakoa, it'll be great.
Yeah, so this is it's talking about the 4 horsemen.
Yeah, this is Apocalypse, the fittest of all mutants.
Yeah.
And I love the whole idea of, these hangers-on stick around for a while until they're eventually replaced with newer, more exciting members. That's so how it is. Oh, we're going to be the new Horsemen.
Yeah. Sinister Secret number 9.
They say the kids are all right, but all is not right in paradise. This couple has been apart so long, friends are expecting when they see each other again, fireworks are going to ensue. Is the universe ready? Judging by how unprepared everyone was for what's happened so far, we kind of doubt it.
Who do you think this is about?
Jean and the Phoenix are my non-couple couple.
I think this is about Moira and Apocalypse.
Interesting.
Because they were never I don't think they were ever a full-on couple, but then they spent that whole lifetime together, and he hasn't...
like a couple to me.
And he hasn't been introduced... Well, maybe they're a non-couple couple because in this life, she's not a couple with him. And he doesn't know about her. So I think...
Maybe, I mean... Sure.
And he hasn't been introduced to it yet.
Fireworks is a clear reference to the Phoenix, and then he drops the word the universe.
All right. That could work too.
Blind items.
And let's get to the last blind item. Sinister Secret number 10. which brainwashed mutant Sinister was replaced long before a certain bald somebody knew, and has been in on the game for almost as long as the game was being played. Shh.
This one is clearly about Jonathan Hickman making this story as confusing as fucking possible.
I think I know what this means, though.
No, I do too. Yeah.
One of the Sinister, there's another, either the main Sinister or one Sinister remembers every life too. I think that's what it means. I think that's what it means by he already knows what's going on, and he's been playing the game for as long as it's been played. Well, guess what? It's been played for 10 lives. So if he knows as long as the game's been played, that means he has to remember those 10 lives.
Oh, okay.
So I think there's somehow Sinister is remembering those other lives as well. And that's what that's about.
Okay.
Why? What do you think it is?
I think it's the Sinister who Xavier brainwashed in the beginning of this story. He was switched out with a different Mr. Sinister who doesn't have that brainwashing and that trigger.
Well, it seemed like
that's what I mean. That's what I mean by making this more complex. So now we can't even rely on Sinister to play his part because he was switched with a different Sinister.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like, oh my head. No more twists and turns, Jonathan Hickman.
Oh, Jonathan Hickman, what are you doing to us?
Oh, but thank you for the gossip and the blind items. I love it. Fireworks, Universe, Phoenix.
And thank you, listeners, for listening to this 101st episode of Comic Book Queers, the beginning of a new onward to 200.
The road to 200.
Road to 200.
Join us, won't you? Thank you so much for listening. Hey, you know what? This caravan can fit a lot more. So if you have friends who you think are into sass or comic books or kink shaming, well, this is the show for them. Ask them to subscribe wherever podcasts are sold.
Yes, and just remember, if you like reading some blind items from Mr. Sinister, well, I hate to break it to you, but that makes you queer. Bye.
Which podcast co-host pair is going to end the show now?